This new moon in Scorpio that we have coming up is an absolutely powerful opportunity for us to do some serious manifestation work. I want to pick it apart for you, but the first thing that we have to do is we have to talk about Scorpio and what Scorpio energy is and what it wants. The new moon is happening at 8:47 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at 9 degrees of Scorpio. If we're going to talk about Scorpio, we talk first about Libra, because Libra is the process, is the step in development. If we look at it, at the zodiac as a wheel and phases of the cycle of development, Libra is the first time that we meet the other, and we meet the other in a way that feels really good. It's like peaceful and it's harmonious, and we're seeing ourselves mirrored back in a way that feels really lovely, right? And then Scorpio is the next space in that cycle, and that's the space where we meet the other, or we know the other, right? And we get really intimate with the other. And so there's an element of discomfort there. Why? Because what does intimacy come from? It comes from allowing another person to see the aspects of ourselves that we are the most ashamed of. That things about us that we don't like, that we don't even like to look at ourselves. And Scorpio energy can be internal. It can be between our conscious awareness, shoving down the things into our subconscious that we don't like about ourselves, shove them down. And so Scorpio energy can intentionally choose to pull those things out and like place our awareness on the aspects that we don't want to about ourselves. And then it also can be with the reflection of the other. So like, you know, having a conversation is that moment when you're dating somebody and you've been dating and things are really nice and things are really awesome. And then all of a sudden something comes up and you've got to confess something. You've got to share something that you aren't proud of. And then you're really vulnerable. And what does that vulnerability do? It puts you in the space of either one of two things. One, that person is going to be like, I'm out, right? And then they're going to reflect back on us. They're going to cement the fact that we actually should feel ashamed in our awareness. It would cement it even more in our consciousness that there is something for us to feel badly about ourselves. Or, and this is where the bravery comes in, this is Scorpio ruled by Mars, or they'll look at us and that thing that we feel so badly about, they'll say, that's okay. That's okay. I accept you. I don't think that's so awful. I don't think you should feel ashamed about that. And that's where intimacy happens. It's bearing the parts of ourselves, whether it's to our own self internally or to another person in any kind of a relationship that we're so uncomfortable about, that we feel awful about, that we're embarrassed of or ashamed of, and having it be fully and being fully accepted. And then the shame goes away. A little bit, maybe a lot. So keep that in mind. Scorpio new moon. That's the energy where the sun and the moon are coming together and they're kissing each other and they're saying, let's plant a seed. Let's plant a seed of some new thing coming about in our life with this energy. So wherever you have Scorpio in your chart, that area is ruled by a need to be brave and to do depth work. That's why Scorpio has two rulers. Scorpio is ruled by Mars and it's ruled by Pluto. So it's going into the deep aspects of ourselves that are hidden, and it's doing so bravely, whether that's with ourselves or with another person. The really cool thing about this new moon, why I say it has such powerful manifestation potential, is because those two rulers are in an exact opposition with each other in this new moon chart. Pluto at 29 degrees, mastery degree of Capricorn. Mars at the 29th degree, mastery degree of Cancer, opposing each other. So what will likely happen around this time, especially if you have any placements around 29 degrees of cardinal signs, Cancer, Aries, Libra, Capricorn, for those that don't know, You're going to get triggered, and you're going to get triggered by something or someone outside of yourself. An opposition is a tension aspect. Why does that make it have manifestation potential? Because when we want to manifest something that is different, something that is new, and the new comes from tension. It comes from tension that requires a change. And so we will be triggered during this time so that we have the opportunity to process that triggering differently, to be brave, to soften into bravery instead of projecting and psychoanalyzing, which is a Scorpio thing to do. And psychoanalyzing is a distraction from doing the brave, vulnerable feeling work. We don't even realize we're doing it. We don't do it intentionally. I have a Scorpio moon. It's conjunct Uranus. I realize it now because I've done so much of this work, but for most of my life, it just was automatic. We psychoanalyze. That's what we do. And then we project and we judge the other person because that feels way better than turning the lens around and doing the brave, vulnerable depth work. So do your ritual. Do your new moon ritual. Set your intentions. When we do that, when we set intentions at a new moon, the new moon is the point of the seed planting. That's the intention setting. And the ritual tells our subconscious that we're planting that seed. And our subconscious then understands this is part of the subconscious. And so it's going to draw things to us that are going to make that seed break open and come to fruition. That seed is not going to break open and come to fruition without an opportunity to change. Plant your seed, do your ritual, and then wait for the opportunity to come up into your experience where you are met with discomfort. And instead of projecting on the other person, exploding, because really what you're going to see around you with lots of people who are not self-aware or not very self-aware, and even with a lot of people who are self-aware because this energy is so intense, people are going to be exploding on each other right and left. Everybody is going to be in self-righteousness. They're going to be saying, this person is bad, and this person is bad, and this person is bad, and I'm the victim. Mentality is a Scorpio thing, y'all. Power over, we're either in our power or we're not. So, if you want change, you got to step back from it all. You got to notice the feeling that comes up. You got to open up the feeling without the storyline. And then see what happens with that seed that you planted on the new moon. This new moon is in a trine to Saturn at 12 degrees of Pisces. We've all been doing hard work wherever we have Pisces in our chart. Whatever house, the house position of all of these are going to shape where this shows up for you. We've been doing hard work at laying a new foundation, which also dissolves the old foundation, of what the next dream is for the next 28, 29 years of our life once Saturn moves into Aries next year. It's a trine. All the hard work we've been doing in the Pisces part of our chart is supportive to this new beginning. This is Scorpio. This is alchemy. You can do your new moon ritual anytime between 8:45 a.m. on November 1st through midnight November 2nd. The closing aspects are magnificent for when Scorpio leaves, or when the moon leaves Scorpio and goes into Sagittarius. In fact, that Scorpio moon, as it's in its closing aspects to leave Scorpio, is in a trine to Mars and in a sextile by exact degree to Pluto, its two rulers, and it's conjunct Mercury, which is the magician. Happy new moon in Scorpio.